that was hard work, wasn't it? Moving all that straw. Wow. Really was hot today, wasn't it? Oh, you got a bit on you there. But you know what? Yes, it did. It reminded me of a story. Well, once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a king who was riding round his kingdom, just having a look around to see how things were. And he passed a mill, and the miller's wife was outside, and she was shouting. She was cross. Do you know what she was shouting? "My daughter has let the dinner go cold. My daughter has let the dinner go cold." Well, the king was riding past and he said, "What did you say?" She wanted to impress the king, so she said, "Oh, my daughter, she's spun some straw into gold." And the king said, "Spun straw into gold? Well, if this is true, I could do with someone like that in my palace. Send her along. She can come back with me now and live at the palace. I could do with someone who could do that." Well, the miller's wife pushed the daughter out through the door, but the daughter said, "But Mama can't go," she said. "It's your chance to live in a grand palace. Go." So the daughter was pushed up behind one of the guards on his horse and taken back to the palace. Well, when they got to the palace, the greedy king thought, gold, gold, gold. And he took the young lady up to a room and they gave her supper. And then he locked her in a horrible dingy room with a big pile of straw and a spinning wheel and a stool. And he said, "You must spin me all that straw into gold by the morning, or I shall chop off your head." I know, she wasn't expecting that. It wasn't very nice, was it? Anyway, that night, she didn't know what to do. She was trapped in the room with all the straw and the spinning wheel. She couldn't spin into gold. Oh no, she started to cry. She broke her heart. It was all her mother's fault. Why did she have to tell lies like that? And then suddenly, phew, a little green clothed man appeared. "Hello," he said. "What is the trouble?" "Well," she said, "the king thinks I can spin straw into gold, and if I don't do this by the morning, he's going to cut off my head." "Oh, it's all right," said the little man. "I can do that, but I need a reward. What can I have?" "Well," she said, "oh, all I have really is some jewellery. I have a necklace." "That'll do," he said. He sat down at the spinning wheel, and all night the spinning wheel was going shoo, 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 and he spun and he spun and he spun. The straw went in one end, and out the other end came the finest strands of gold. Well, by the morning he'd finished, and it was all gold. There wasn't a little bit of straw left. He grabbed the necklace, off he went, vanished. When the king came in, he was very pleased. But being a greedy, greedy king, the same thing happened the next night. And he put the girl in another room with an even bigger pile of straw. And he said, "If that's not woven into gold by the morning, I'm going to chop off your head." Well, the same thing that night. She broke her heart. She didn't know what to do. How was she going to manage to do this? When all of a sudden, you know what happened? Yes, phew, the little man appeared again. "Oh, what's the trouble?" he said. "I need to spin all this straw into gold," she said. "How am I going to do it?" "It's all right," he said. "I can do it, but I need a reward." "Well," she said, "all I have left is my bracelet." "That'll do," he said. And he sat down at the spinning wheel and he span all night. Straw went in one end, out the other end came the finest gold thread. In the morning he grabbed the bracelet and he was gone. When the king came in, he was very impressed. "I say, this is fantastic," he said. "Absolutely fantastic. One more night should do it. I'll have a fortune." "Oh no," said the girl. "Yes," he said. And he locked her in the room again with an even bigger pile of straw. "You know what'll happen if you don't spin it into gold," he said. He was so greedy, wasn't he? Well, that night the little man appeared again. "Aye, I'll help you again," he said, "but I need a reward." "But I've nothing left," said the girl. "I've nothing left at all." "Well, I need something," he said. "If you ever get married, I need your first-born baby. Give him to me." "Oh, all right," said the girl. She was desperate, wasn't she? She agreed. And the little man sat at the wheel, and he span and he span and he span. There was gold there in the morning. The king was pleased. The girl was relieved she didn't have her head chopped off. Well, after some time in the palace, the king became very fond of the girl, and he asked her to marry him, and she became queen. And before long, they had a little baby boy, a little prince. She'd forgotten all about the little man in the green suit. Then one day, he appeared at the palace, and he said, "I've come for the little boy. In the agreement you said I could have the little boy." "Oh no," she said, "please, no, no." And she begged and begged and begged him not to take the boy. And he said, "All right then, I'll set you a test. If you can guess what my name is, you can keep the boy." "Oh, all right then," said the girl, and she began guessing. And he said, "No, no, it's got to be done properly. I shall come here on 3 different nights. On each night you get 3 guesses. And if you don't get me name by the 3rd night, I'm taking the boy." Anyway, the girl sent her servants and guards all round the kingdom to try and find out if anybody knew the name of this little man, but nobody did. And when he appeared on the 1st night, she thought, "I'll try some strange names. Is your name Casper?" "No," he said, and he jumped about with glee. "Is your name Balthazar?" "Oh, no, no," he said, jumped about with glee. "Is your name Melchior?" "No," he said, "ha ha, I'll be back tomorrow." Oh no, she hadn't guessed, and one night had gone. Well, the following night she thought she might try some more ordinary names, and when he appeared he said, "Have you thought?" And she said, "Yes." "Is your name Arthur?" "No," he said, "it's not Arthur, no." And he jumped about. "Is it Bobby?" "No, it's not Bobby. It's not Bobby at all," he said. "Is it Henry?" "No, it's not Henry. Why would it be Henry?" And he vanished. There was one night left. The servants were all over the kingdom trying to find out the name. And then one of them arrived, and he said, "I think I found the name. I was passing some woodland, and there was a little man in a green costume dancing round a fire, and he was singing." "What was he singing?" said the Queen. "He was singing, 'Today I brew, tomorrow I bake, the day after that the Queen's baby I take. No one knows my name is Rumpelstiltskin.'" Well, the Queen was overjoyed. That night, when the little man came, she played him along a bit. And he said, "Have you found my name then?" And she said, "Is it Carl?" "No, he's not Carl. Why would it be Carl?" he said. "Is it David?" "No, he's not David," he said. "Is it Rumpelstiltskin?" "What?" said the little man. "What? What?" And he stamped his feet so hard that the floor cracked, and then he disappeared in a flash of rage, and he was never, ever seen again. So she got to keep her baby. Thank goodness for that. It was all her mum's fault, wasn't it? Yeah.